My name's Tomo and I'm redesigning all 11 of the 2026 Formula 1 car liveries. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the real thing, and don't forget to let me know all your thoughts and feelings down in the comments below. This is redesign 9, 10 and 11. We're looking at Cadillac, we're looking at McLaren and we're looking at Aston Martin. Because testing's about to start, we ain't got time for 3 separate videos, let's just chuck it all in together, starting with the boys and girls from the USA. My name's Tomo, let's talk about it. Okay, Super Bowl launched Cadillac, different on one side to the other, asymmetrical livery. Yes, please, the renders looked incredible. Michael Bay's taking him to court because apparently that was his idea and they didn't pay him for it or whatever. You can look at the details. I'll put an article down below. There was a lot of chrome on the car, seemingly, in the video and the renders. And when you look at it in real life, which it did shake down at Bahrain ahead of the test on Wednesday, it's not quite as chrome, is it? It's more shades of grey between the white and the black. But I absolutely love the approach, the idea. Because the last time we saw an asymmetrical livery was, what, the BAR Honda? Maybe? Back in the day. This also gives me shades of West McLaren, which for me is the most nostalgic livery in F1 of them all. They get a big tick for the asymmetry, the Cadillac kind of hatching towards the back and having that gradient in and out. Really smart. Love the script Cadillac font that's kind of just behind the front wheels. That looks lovely. Black and white with basically zero colour except from the Tommy Hilfiger logo. Looks wonderful. I just love it. It looks so good. It's not quite as good as the chrome in the renders, right? It was never going to look so good with a real thing, but it still just looks superb. They haven't got many sponsors, let's be real. That'll come with time, so make the most of it in the moment. You've not got many sponsors to worry about, so you can be a bit more creative with your livery. When I first saw these renders, I was so sure I was going to put this first, even ahead of the Haas. However, now seeing it on track, it's not quite at Haas level, it's not quite at Ferrari level, but I'm slotting him in at P3. Cadillac, love your work, hope you're not a mile off this year. So that's what I think of the real thing, but what about my interpretation? Well, here is my redesign of the 2026 Cadillac Formula 1 car. We have asymmetry. I've copied that over from the actual car, but instead I've leaned into Cadillac's brand colours, right? If you look at the Cadillac logo, it has the blue, it has the yellow, it has the red. If you look at Cadillac's entrance into WEC as well, they typically lean to a blue, red, yellow primary colours across the board, gradienting into black. And I wanted to bring that to the F1 car, taking the asymmetry of the real thing but combining it with the colour of their existing motorsport entrance. I didn't want red directly on yellow, so blue is the nose colour, the front on colour, bringing it all together, blue gradienting into yellow on the left hand side and into red on the right hand side. TWG, of course, and Core Scientific changing colours depending on the side they are. Blacked out the front and rear wings. It was too much to try and implement these colours into the wings as well. It's bold, it's brash, and I didn't want to go overkill, right? I've moved the lovely Cadillac script onto the side of the rear wing and the standard Cadillac logo on the side of the front wing. And other than that, again, there's not tons of sponsors to try and implement. It's pretty simple. I've got the Cadillac kind of logo stylized on the airbox, of course, in yellow, on the yellow side, in red on the red side. And yeah, I mean, look, I think the asymmetry is sick. Would this car look better just for one side or the other? I think both look good. I'm equally drawn to the yellow and the red. I think this is pretty smart, but I just don't know what you're going to think, because the amount of times I've thought a livery is a banger and you've hated it, and vice versa, is beyond me. Next up, McLaren, and not too much to say here from the double championship winners last year, of course, constructors and drivers champions. They've kept this livery broadly similar for a long time now. They've got a good thing going because it's very easy for them to chop and change the colours, because you've got all these different papaya blocks essentially when you look at the side profile of the car. They've got a ton of sponsors, of course, so again, blocking things out allows those sponsors a bit more space, a bit more room to breathe, to be distinctive on the car. The chrome wheel covers are now more Gemini wheel covers because, of course, the whole AI thing. So many teams, basically every team's got an AI sponsor. I think literally every team's got an AI sponsor. But yeah, look, beyond that, of course, MasterCard are now title sponsors on the car and are on the side pod. Not too much more to say, really. It's always been a good livery. They have that ownership of the bright orange papaya, but you know it's orange. I would actually say, since they implemented this kind of design language on their car, this might actually be my least favourite interpretation of it. So I'm going to put it behind the Williams, ahead of the Audi. Sorry, McLaren, like, it's not a bad livery. Again, none of these are bad liveries. It's just... So once again, let's take a look at my version, my redesign, my reinterpretation of the 2026 McLaren Formula 1 car. Straight out the gates, even I'm not sure whether I like this or not. I've got to be honest, this is one of them where I kind of had an idea and I made a few changes late on that I think might have saved it. I don't love this. I prefer the real thing, but it is something a bit different. What I've tried to do is lean into the classic McLaren kind of swoosh, but also the classic kind of Bruce McLaren Kiwi, and use shapes from those elements within the design to block things out, right? So on the side pod, mainly black. I've put the MasterCard logo between the Velo and OKX because I just think it, you know, it balances better. If you ask me, you've got little swoosh of McLaren at the bottom, you've got the McLaren at the top, the papaya at the top, sorry, should I say, with Dell Technologies, and the little Kiwi. The thing with the papaya, I will say, is that because it's such a strong colour, you don't need loads of it on the livery to have an impact. But also, as you can see from, I mean, just look at the side profile, right? Look at Velo and look at Dell. Velo stands out a lot more than Dell because Velo's on black. So it's always a bit tougher a sell to get away with a logo on a colour like papaya. I don't think this is as bad as my Red Bull, but I'm not confident in this one at all. So let's move on, shall we? Because finally we have the Aston Martin, the last car to launch on a very cursed stream, seemingly. It kept cutting out. But we saw the car in all its glory. Look, it's a superb green. Like, the colour is so nice. It's very annoying, which I think is just the nature of this type of green, where it's slightly bluey green. It doesn't look consistent across the driver overalls and the helmets because of the different materials. The green, I love it on the car though. If they could just get it consistent. Well, it's kind of that. It's green, isn't it, really? It's green, blue, kind of Aston Martin green. Didn't even consider that. Anyway, shut up, Tomo. Right, so it's fiddly in places. I don't love the side pod with the Aramco and the kind of neon hatch above it. But I do like the swoosh neon on the front and the side. Look, it's a great colour and it's basically a one colour car. There's been years where the Aston Martin has been right at the sharp end for me, but actually it's not so much for me this year. I'm going to pop it behind the Alpine. I think the Alpine's got a strong colour palette, but also it's been implemented a bit better. I just love this green, so it is carrying, but I'm not a great fan of the composition of the livery. But again, it still looks good. It still looks very, very good. So there we have it for one final time in 2026. Here is my redesign of the 2026 Aston Martin Formula 1 car. Okay, look, I'll be honest, I think I've cooked on this one. I wasn't feeling it on the McLaren, but I am feeling this one. I think this is an improvement from the actual thing. Let's talk through it. So, green nose, front wing, broadly similar. We've got the neon swoosh coming up a bit higher this time, and then along and around and down and connecting with the Aramco on the side pod. Then we've got another swoosh because I wanted that kind of side profile. I did that first swoosh from the front wheels along, and then I was like, right, I feel like maybe another one would look good. I kind of started with that. And then that also breaks the Valvoline away from Boss and Aramco, and Marden can sing a bit more, and Honda as well. It kind of allows you to segment the side of this billboard up a bit more. Green kind of gradienting out to black, and also towards the back where the Honda logo is. Sponsor placement is broadly the same. I've adjusted, moved a few around. Very simple from that front on point of view, but I do really like how you see those 2 Volt neon kind of strips coming out the side. There, come round to the back, of course, Aston Martin along the rear wing. Tried to be fancy actually on the rear wing M plate, so I've got the Aston Martin green, and then the Aston Martin logo is kind of a little bit of a, I don't know, little bit of arty fartiness. I think this is a banger, actually. I really like this. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you all for your support of this series that I do every year. I make sure not to miss it because it's fun. All right, graphic design is my background. I want to keep those skills somewhat sharp. I really enjoy it. I've always enjoyed livery design. I remember back in my Forza days, I would spend hours and hours in the livery editor recreating sponsor logos in like squares and circles and that, so that I could color them any color I wanted, because Forza 2 wouldn't allow you to color the logos. You had the exact same ones that they gave to you. I've always loved this, and I will continue to do this each and every year. Something a bit different as now testing begins. So I will be trying my best to do a video. You lot I asked, and you want a video after each day rounding up testing. So that is the plan. Although life has been very incredibly stupidly hectic as of late. Recommendation: never remove your own radiators, because it caused so much issue. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not gonna. So please drop a like, comment, interact however you can. I really do appreciate it. I'll do all this on my own. Every single bit of output you see from the Tommo YouTube channel is recorded, filmed, edited, produced, whatever, by me. My name's Tommo. Thanks again. Have a good one. Ta-da.